Hello and welcome to the Property Quarterback YouTube channel. I am Mike Williams, your property quarterback, licensed realtor as well as investor, serving the greater Philadelphia area, both city as well as suburbs. Welcome. Today's topic is going to be a little history lesson. It is Black History Month in the year 2021, and I'm super excited about talking about this particular topic because yes, there are some barriers in our history that people of color, including myself, as well as other minorities, have faced in this country. But there are ways to overcome that. And so we're going to be talking about both. We're going to be talking about our history and some barriers that people of color as well as minorities have faced in this country. But we're also going to talk about some barrier busters. Like, we're going to be breaking through these barriers because I want everyone to succeed in their real estate aspirations. I want everyone to reach their goals in real estate. So let's talk about a little history lesson. So the emancipation of slavery was in 1863. So yes, there was, many of us know that there was a very long time in this country history where captive people from African descent were brought to America against their free will. Many of us know that. And then they were placed into slavery and wasn't released from that until 1863. In 1866, a law was passed, the Civil Rights Act, that allowed every American citizen in every American state, in every territory, to acquire real estate, to participate in real estate transactions. Well, many of us know during that time there was still much prejudice in America. It is ingrained, unfortunately, in this country's DNA. And, many people were able to acquire real estate and land, but there was a good portion of the population, mainly blacks and people of color, who were disadvantaged, who came in at a disadvantage and was grossly discriminated against and was not able to acquire or participate in real estate transactions due to this discrimination. So for a little over 100 years, 102 years to be exact, this Jim Crow and gross discrimination against people of color happened in this country, although the Civil Rights Act was in place. And, whites were able to participate in real estate transactions, unlike, minorities and people of color. So there was a big gap in wealth, and there still is, right? There's this big gap in wealth because many of us know to create wealth, you can participate in real estate. That is one form of creating wealth here in America, is acquiring property or participating in real estate transactions. Well, for 100 years, this law had not been amended, 102 years to be exact. And then, this law was amended, Title 8 of the Civil Rights Act of 1966. This is also known as the Fair Housing Act. So yes, there was a long, history of discrimination. And, it took another 100 years to put laws in place to protect individuals from this form of discrimination. So there was already a gap. There's already a huge barrier. And I wanted to talk about, 3 specific barriers that, people of color have faced in our country and unfortunately sometimes still face. One being something called steering. What is steering? Well, someone would hire a realtor, a real estate agent. They would hire someone to help them buy or sell real estate, specifically buy. And they say, hey, I want to move into a better neighborhood with a better school district. and I want to move to, this nice, neighborhood, majority white, but it has a better school system. I want to move there. Well, the realtor would say, well, no, you don't want to move there. You might feel more comfortable in this area where your demographic is. Or say if I was a Caucasian person and I wanted to buy in a neighborhood that was majority minorities, the realtor would say, hey, listen, I don't think you want to move over there. It's pretty dark over there, even during the day, if you get what I mean, You get what I'm saying? It's pretty dark over there. You don't want to move there. They'll be steering those individuals from neighborhoods to neighborhoods that they believe would fit their demographic. Well, this is now against the law. This is discrimination. And this is a phenomenal thing now that it's against the law. There was something also called blockbusting, where individuals would create panic cells in neighborhoods because a certain demographic would be moving in. For instance, if the neighborhood was predominantly Jewish and, blacks started moving in, a realtor would start, or someone who trying to create financial gain would start to create panic in those neighborhoods. Like, hey, listen, you need to sell your house now. Your property values are going to drop because the blacks are moving in, or, the Hispanics are moving in. You need to sell before your neighborhood, becomes a dump. And both of these, staring as well as blockbusting, is very evident that this stuff has happened. Why? I live in Philadelphia. I grew up in Philadelphia. I live right out in the suburbs now, but I still live in the area. And Philadelphia is one of the oldest cities in America. And I love my city. It's also one of the most diverse cities in America to date. The problem, though, is you can really see where staring and blockbusting came into effect in Philadelphia. Although Philadelphia is very diverse, it is still very segregated. It's getting better, but it's very segregated. You have your Hispanic neighborhoods, in Latinx and Latino neighborhoods. You have your Asian neighborhoods where you have Cambodians live in one place, Koreans live in one place. You have the Italian. Everybody knows about the Italian market. Come on, Rocky Balboa running through the Italian market in South Philadelphia. Predominantly Italian, Caucasian. Then you have, the black neighborhoods where they're predominantly people of color, black. And then you have your Irish and your Caucasian neighborhoods. Everybody knows Mayfair in Northeast Philadelphia. Everybody knows that certain parts of North Philly is predominantly Latino. Certain parts of West Philly and North Philly and Southwest Philly are predominantly black. When my grandparents were living in Philadelphia and they lived in North Philadelphia, the neighborhood was predominantly Jewish in North Philadelphia. Today, that neighborhood is predominantly black. The neighborhood my grandparents currently live in, which is called West Oak Lane, was predominantly white. Now that neighborhood is predominantly black. Why? Due to steering and blockbusting. Northeast Philadelphia, like I said, and South Philadelphia, predominantly white. Why? Blockbusting and steering. People steering people into these neighborhoods and putting them in these little pockets, as well as causing panic cells because a certain demographic is moving in and creating a panic for people to sell and to move into other neighborhoods where they're being herded into. So that's how you have such a diverse city, but still very segregated. And this is seen throughout America, right? We have Spanish Harlem, and, we have, I was in LA, and there's a whole section for Koreans, which, was interesting to me because this is still very prevalent in our country today, the effects of it. But so grateful that this is now illegal. You can no longer do this. You can move wherever you want to move, live wherever you want to live, Buy or sell when you feel like buying and when you feel like selling. So this is a great, thing that this is now a law. Unfortunately, it took over 100 years to put it in place, and it's still being massaged and growing because, discrimination still exists, unfortunately. And then the third thing I want to talk about, this is more so on the lender side. There was something called redlining. Lenders would not lend, so provide mortgages in certain neighborhoods to certain demographics. Actually, not too long ago, Wells Fargo got in trouble for this, right? They were subprime, providing subprime loans to certain demographics that were mainly minorities, with higher interest rate and higher fees, but also refusing to lend to certain neighborhoods. This happened, as well, where, people of color could not acquire mortgages. And, today, it's an awesome opportunity that, pretty much, anyone can buy a house as long as you meet a certain criteria. I'm so grateful for organizations like NACA. NACA is one of my favorite mortgage programs, but it's bigger than a mortgage program. They are activists. They are in the fight to create equality through real estate, to allow people in underserved areas, whether white, black, whatever, to be able to purchase real estate without discrimination. To be able to provide lending without discrimination. To be able to provide financial education, financial literacy without discrimination. That's why I love the NACA program. Not only do you get the best mortgage program in the country, you also get all of the French benefits. You get the mortgage counselor to teach you financial literacy. You get to learn how to create a budget. You get to learn how to create financial wealth through real estate that you can pass down for generations. NACA has stood up to the big guys, just like our new vice president, right? Stood up to the big banks to tell them that, hey, listen, your lending practices are wrong and you need to correct them. And they have fought, the good fight, and now they have billions of dollars to be able to lend out to people in underserved areas. This is awesome because this is how we break through those barriers, how we bridge the gap that has been deeply dug because it has been ingrained in American history. We can bridge the gap. Will it take work? Yes. I'm not saying the gap doesn't exist. It does. I'm not saying that these things like redlining, steering, and blockbusting don't happen. They do. And it's unfortunate. But I want you to know your real estate dreams and aspirations and goals are valid and you can achieve them. And it's not going to be simple, and I'm not saying it is, but it is achievable. And we can do it together. Hey, listen, if you're in the greater Philadelphia area and the surrounding suburbs, hit me up for a free consultation. And if you're not, I may be able to put you in touch with a realtor in your area, whether it's in North Carolina. I got a property quarterback in North Carolina, in Charlotte, the Charlotte area. If it's in New Jersey, I got quarterbacks in New Jersey. Shout them out. I got New York as well. If you're in New York in the 5 boroughs or Westchester area, I got quarterbacks there for you. I got realtors there for you. If you're in the Bay Area, I got a realtor there for you. So yeah, if you're in Florida, I have connections there for you. So yes, I can put you in touch with a property quarterback, a realtor. That's what a property quarterback is. It's a licensed realtor in your area. That's what I am to Philadelphia. I am our property quarterback, Philadelphia and its surrounding suburbs. And book that free consultation with me because I don't want you to come up against discrimination. I want you to be able to achieve your real estate dreams and aspirations. One of those ways we can do that is by NACA. Do you have to go through NACA? No, but it is a tool. It is a tool there to be able to help break through these barriers. Can you do it without NACA? Absolutely. There's other mortgage programs out there. If you already had the financing, if you had the savings and the credit score, yes, we can do it. I took the benefits of NACA to buy my first home, and I have a portfolio now of homes that I invest in. NACA helped me get started. NACA can help you get started. NACA also does multifamily units, so you can house hack. There's ways to create generational wealth through real estate. And I want to be able to present those tools to all of you. So that way you don't have to come up against, discrimination. No matter who you are, what color, what creed, what race, what religion, what sexual orientation, sexuality, doesn't matter. I want everyone to be able to achieve their financial and real estate dreams and aspirations. So yeah, that is my Black History Minute talk. I hope you all are doing well. Know that love sees no color. Love sees no, barriers between individuals. Yes, our race and our ethnicity and who we are is very important, and we have to love each other differences. So I just want to shout that out. I also want to place a disclaimer. I'm posting this on our Property Quarterback YouTube channel, and if you disagree with anything I have to say, that is completely fine. If you don't like anything I've had to say in this topic, because I am speaking on race and discrimination, and some people get highly upset for some reason about talking about this particular topic, I want you to know there is no room for hateful comments. Hey, listen, if you don't like what I had to say, keep scrolling. Because I still love you. But this is not a place for discrimination and hate. This is a love zone, a hate-free zone, all about love. I love everyone, and I want you to be everyone to be able to achieve their dreams. This is a hate-free zone, so do not leave hateful comments. You will get deleted and blocked. If you have any questions, please feel free to book that free consultation. Know that, hey, listen, although these things are very prevalent even in our society today, being discrimination and hate, know that we can break through these barriers together. All right? I love you all. Thank you for allowing me to share. Thank you for joining us for another edition of Property Quarterback on our YouTube channel. Don't forget to like and subscribe and comment your questions there below. Here's to us celebrating a huge victory at the closing table. But first, we got to put together a winning game plan. We'll see you soon.